Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today I'm going to be running through all of my Project Pan products, and I'm going to be talking about how I've been using them, if I've been using them, and I figured I could just give a monthly update. So this is going to be my March update. I feel like if I'm not really using the products a whole lot, then I might skip a month. I mean, it is an entire year, so I don't want to sit here and say I'm going to do this every single month because some things happen, and yeah, that's just life. So I wanted to be as consistent as possible with my updates on this because I feel like people do really enjoy these kinds of videos. So yeah, let me know if this is something that, even if I'm not using the products a whole lot, that you would still like to see the monthly updates, because I feel like I have been putting a huge effort into using the products, so it's kind of in a way replacing my monthly favorites. So just let me know, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so I kind of just threw them all in my little wired bin here. I don't have a rhyme or reason for what I'm doing, so I'm just going to pull them out and talk about them. So the first product is the Anastasia Subculture palette. I know that there has been a ton of controversy, especially after I started my Project Pan. I feel like I was just looking at videos more and more that people do not like this palette, but I do. So basically, I have been using these colors a lot, the ones I'm about to mention. So Dawn, I'm almost on pan, like that's so exciting. Roxy, Fudge, New Wave, and Edge. Those are like my key colors in this palette. I also love Adorn, which is a really gorgeous bronzy shimmer shade. These colors over here, other than Edge, I haven't dug too much into, and I feel like those might be the colors that people are really talking about getting muddy, because they do have that really kind of weird undertone to them. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than just showing you on camera. They're picking up a lot brighter than they are, but they do look a lot more like muted tones in person. So that's really interesting. But this color right here, Dawn, is the perfect warm tone transition shade, if y'all are curious about that. And I just love all of the warm tones in this palette. This is definitely a palette that I tend to use on an everyday basis whenever I'm doing my makeup. So that's just something to keep in mind. And this cube color right here is really cool because it has that iridescence to it. Whenever the light hits it, it just reflects a really, really gorgeous shade. I haven't used it all over my lid yet, which is something that I really do want to do. I typically use it to highlight my brow bone, but I have been loving that palette so, so much and definitely using it. The next one is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dolce de Leche, and I have been using this up like crazy. So mostly since like I started Project Pan, I've been using the contour shade more than the highlight shade, but this is a really gorgeous like highlight shade for underneath the eyes to set that concealer. It's really fine milled and it's super soft and buttery, but I'm pretty close to hitting pan on this, and then this one is definitely not far behind. So I'm excited about that. And then I've been using a ton of the Kat Von D translucent powder. I will say, and I've mentioned it in multiple tutorials and videos over the past month, that for some reason, I don't know if my skin is freaking out or if it's just the products that I've been pairing with this, but it has been making my under eye look so crepey and so dry, which is really disappointing because when I first got this, I was obsessed. Like, I was using it nonstop. It's beautiful. I will say that whenever I use it to bake, so if I apply it with a damp beauty sponge, that's when I tend to get the crepiness. But whenever I just lightly dust it on to set that concealer and then also to set my foundation, it does a really, really good job at locking in and making sure that those products stay on for a really long time and I don't get that crepiness unless I bake. So that's just really interesting to me that I've noticed, but I have been using this up quite a bit. I still have a ton to go, but I've definitely made like a solid dent in this, so that's really exciting. And also I've been wanting to get like another translucent powder So I'm trying to use this up like super, super fast. Next up for primers, I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, which I feel like all of my subscribers are so sick and tired of hearing me talk about this, but I use this almost every single time I did my makeup. The only time I haven't used this entire past month has been today whenever I did my makeup for this makeup tutorial, and I was using the Smashbox Primer Water because that's a new product to me. So other than that, I've been using this every single time I do my makeup, and I'm pretty far down. Like, I'm shocked that I haven't already ran out of this because I use it all the time. The Tarte Poreless Primer I haven't been using quite as much just because I have been suffering from really, really dry skin. I mentioned it in my makeup tutorial for this makeup look, but I've been eating terribly, just way too much salt, and I haven't been hydrating myself well enough. So my skin is so dry right now, and I find whenever I use this primer, my skin needs to be a little more hydrated than what it is right now. Otherwise, it'll kind of tug and pull at those dry spots and emphasize them a little bit more. But I have used this a couple of times just in my T-zone area to cover up those pores, or whenever I was suffering from hormonal acne, I will use this. But I definitely can say that this will probably be gone by the end of the year because I love this during the winter time. All right, so going on to foundations, I use this Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation, every single time I do my makeup, except for today. Like I said, this video that I found for the makeup tutorial, it's like a whole bunch of products that I haven't really used in a while, or new products to me. But other than that, I have been using this every single time, like all the time. I feel like the bottle doesn't do a good job at showing where you are. Maybe I can see on the inside. No, the hole's like way too small. But I know for a fact I will be running out of this foundation really soon, probably within the next month or two, because it is my staple. I'm so excited that I found this foundation. It is a must for me. So the next foundation that was on my list is the Anastasia Stick Foundation, which, to be completely honest, I have not touched because it's too dark for me. And I know that within the next couple of weeks, I will be going to the beach a lot more. We have a wedding down in the Keys, so we're going to be on the beach a lot down there as well, hopefully. So I was planning on using this more in the summer months anyways, but I love this foundation. Like, every single time I've used it, it's been beautiful. So I'm not too concerned, but I'm excited because the summer months are rolling in and I'm going to be getting my tan on. So next up we have concealers. The Milani Retouch and Erase Concealer I've used a couple of times. If y'all can see, there's like a little like itty bitty space right there that's showing where the concealer is. So it's pretty full still. I haven't used this quite as much as the NYX HD concealer, which I'll talk about in just a minute, but I like this concealer. It's not my favorite. I much prefer the NYX HD one, but this one is really good for the price point, and I have used it a couple of times over the past month. The NYX HD concealer, though, in beige, is my ride or die drugstore concealer. This one is going to be going out pretty soon, probably within the next 2 to 3 months, I would say, just because I do like to mix up my concealers depending on what my under eye needs are. But I love this stuff. There's a couple of marks on the side indicating that I'm starting to scrape a little bit. So this one has been used and loved and abused like within the past month, definitely, for sure. Next up, we have the Tarte blush in the shade Exposed. Y'all, I have been going to town on this blush and I still am not getting a dent. Like, they're so pigmented and beautiful, and this one for me is like the perfect wash of a rosy mauve shade, but because of the pigmentation and how long they last, it is so hard to dig into this product and actually create a dent. So for me, I'm kind of nervous about this one. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I have been using this blush so much over the past month. it's crazy. Like, this is the perfect shade for me, which is why I chose it for this project. But we'll have to see because it's just not hitting pan. Like, it's not even close. I've had this for years. I use it all the time. We'll see. The Pixie in Aspen Ovard Sunset Tarini, right? Santorini Sunset highlight shade I have also been digging into. If y'all can see, I have kind of made like a little baby dent in it. But this is one of those highlight shades that is so pigmented and beautiful. I have something else on today, but this is so gorgeous. I love this color so much. It is the perfect undertone for my skin tone because it's not too muddy and gray. It's not too yellow and golden. It's like right in between, the perfect champagne color. I honestly prefer this shade a lot more than Champagne Pop. I have to, by Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill, I have to wear Champagne Pop when I'm actually tan. This is like my not going to the beach but not crazy fair. This is like my normal skin tone, what I'm at right now. But I have been using this a lot, and I feel like because it is so finely milled and it has a touch of kickback, that I will be able to hit pan on this within the year. So the eyeshadow that I have by ColourPop is Millionaire. And I haven't used this shade at all, even though it is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a really beautiful taupey bronze shade, super, super shimmery. The reason why I haven't used it the past month is because I've had some requests to do more cool tone looks and kind of get out of my warm toned rut, I guess. Even though I've been using the Subculture palette for everyday makeup whenever I go to work or to school, that's more appropriate than having like a straight glitter on your eyelid whenever you're in psychology. So with that being said, I do want to use this a lot during the summertime because it gives that really beautiful reflect and kind of that wet look. So the warm tones that I do have coming up for makeup looks, I will definitely be using this shade a lot. And it also looks really, really beautiful on the lower lash line. So that's just something to know. I know a lot of glitters don't necessarily look super flattering on the lower lash line, but this one, it looks really, really gorgeous if you are working with brown tones. And then we have our lipsticks. So we have Naturally Chic by Milani. If y'all haven't seen the original Project Pan video, I'm going to swatch the lippies for you. But I have worn this quite a bit for the month. This is what it looks like. So it's just that perfect everyday rosy shade. I still have quite a bit to go in the tube just because this is so pigmented. And for a drugstore basic lipstick, this is not obviously a liquid lipstick. It stays on for a really, really long time. So I don't find myself reapplying this throughout the day, which is nice. But at the same time, I'm trying to hit pan on it. So, but it's really, really good. And I've been using it quite a bit. Next up, we have the Buxom Lip Polish in the shade White Russian, which y'all, I have been using this so much. You can see that I have like quite a bit that's already gone. This is definitely going to be a lip gloss that I go through within this year. I wear it when I'm not wearing makeup because it has that really nice, cool sensation, like minty sensation on the lips as well. So in the summertime or like in the hotter months for Florida, I love to use this so much because it cools me down. It feels really, really nice. So it also gives a gorgeous wet look to the lips without adding too much color. So this is perfect if you're wanting to add just a little something to your face, like if you throw on some mascara or if you just put this on and nothing else, you are going to be good to go. It just gives that really nice reflection off of the lips. I love this and it has been my go-to. Like, it's always in my bag. It's always with me. I love it. And then the Tarte lipstick in the shade Sunkissed. I've worn this a couple of times. So this is what it looks like. It's a really, really gorgeous pinky peachy nude shade. And I still have quite a bit to go on this one because I haven't been wearing it quite as much. Like I said, I've been going more with cool tones lately for my makeup tutorials. So this for me, I haven't been wearing quite as much because it doesn't go, because it is so warm toned, it doesn't go super well with cool tone looks. but the NYX Butter Gloss I've also been wearing out for the past month. I feel like my lip glosses I'm gonna have no problem going through at all. And in case y'all are curious, this is like a really beautiful, super pale, like peachy, pinky, nudie color. That was a terrible description, but I love this, and it's one of those lip glosses that I throw in my bag. It also gives a really nice wet look to the lips, not quite as shiny as White Russian by Buxom, but it still gets the job done. So I've been wearing this a lot as well. So that is my update for the month of March. I really want to try to work through more of the products as the summer months kind of start to roll in, especially the products that I feel like I need to have kind of my deeper skin tone to wear, like the foundation. So we'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at using the products on a daily basis as much as I can. Sometimes it's hard whenever I'm trying to do makeup tutorials as well, because that's part of like what really drives my channel here. I don't necessarily do strictly makeup videos where I'm just talking about makeup. I do a lot of tutorials as well. So I want to make sure that I'm balancing the scales here, giving y'all what you want to see with tutorials, and then also using up my products. So I hope that y'all had a fun time hanging out with me and figuring out where I am in my project pan. Let me know what products y'all are using up if you have done a project pan for 2018, or let me know what products you were just absolutely loving for the month of March. Oh my god, it is time for me to wash my face and go rocks. So anyways, for the month of March, let me know what you've been loving. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!